Hello everyone and welcome to Sunday Schools. We are so glad that you are here with us today. I'm Kimmy and today we're going to look at another miracle of Jesus, about when Jesus walked on water. So our Bible story today is about when the disciples were sailing on the Sea of Galilee, and there was wind and big waves, and Jesus walks on water to them. And so we're going to hear more about that story read to us by Amy, but first let's check out some facts about our Bible story today.
Hi guys, I'm Miss Amy, and I'm going to read the story Jesus Walks on Water from the Story for Children, and it begins on page 214. So this is from Matthew 14:25, Mark 6:48 to 51, and John 6:19 to 21. Jesus wanted to spend some time alone. When he climbed a hill to find a quiet place to pray, his disciples set sail on the Sea of Galilee to cross over to a town called Capernaum. During the night, the wind stirred up, and Jesus' disciples rowed hard to keep the boat on course. Jesus came down from his praying place and watched the disciples struggling against the wind. Because he was the Son of God, Jesus could do things that ordinary people could not do. Jesus decided to join his disciples, so he walked out to their boat on the water. He walked across the dark water as if it were solid ground. When the disciples saw the shadowy figure moving toward them, they were startled. There's Jesus walking across the sea to the disciples to join them in their boat during the storm. Jesus tried to calm them. "Don't be afraid, it's me," he said. One of the disciples, Peter, replied, "If it's really you, tell me to come to you on the water." Jesus said, "Come." So Peter did. He climbed out of the boat and began walking to Jesus. At first, Peter felt brave, knowing that Jesus was near, but when he glanced at the rough waters, his courage disappeared and he began to sink into the sea. Peter called to Jesus for help. "Lord, save me!" Jesus reached down and pulled Peter up out of the water. Once Jesus and Peter were back inside the boat, the disciples filled the little craft with praise and worship. The followers now understood who Jesus was, and they said, "Truly, you are the Son of God." And there's Peter sinking into the water, and Jesus pulling him out and saving him.
Thank you, Amy, for reading our Bible story to us today. So we just read Jesus Walks on Water, about a time when the disciples set sail on the Sea of Galilee, and there were big waves and winds, and so Jesus goes and walks on water and goes towards them, and they're wondering who it is, and then they realize that it's Jesus. And Jesus says, "You don't have to be afraid." And so Peter, one of the disciples, starts to climb out of the boat and walk towards Jesus. And then there's a moment where he gets a bit scared and he starts to sink. Then he places faith and trust in Jesus, who helps him out of the water. And because of this story, in this story, the disciples know that Jesus is the Son of God. And because Jesus is the Son of God, they know that we can place trust and have such a strong faith in Jesus. So I'm wondering, have you ever done a trust fall? Maybe you want to pause the video and try that now when you lean backwards and you fall and someone catches you. Just like a trust fall, that is us having trust and faith in Jesus. We know that even though sometimes we're kind of wondering if we'll be caught, or we bend our knees and we're a little afraid, but we know that Jesus is always there to help us and to catch us. And so we know that we can have strong faith in Jesus. So maybe how can we have a strong faith in Jesus? Through prayer and maybe do a devotional time with your family, VBS songs, through music. These are all ways that we can spend more time with Jesus. And that's been a focus of Lent, right? That we can draw closer to God and spend more time with Him. So this story reminds us that we can fully trust in Jesus and have such strong faith in Him. And the more time that we spend with God, the stronger our relationship with Him gets. So let's pray about this together, if you'll join me. God, help us when we fall. Help us to have trust and strong faith in you. Remind us that if we keep our eyes on you, we will know more peace. And all God's children said, Amen. So now it's time to build. So maybe something from this story you already have in mind that you want to build something from. Otherwise, there will be some things on the screen that you can create from today's story. You could use Legos, clay, toys, anything you have at home to create today's Bible story. There's also some building questions, things that we can think about this story of when Jesus walked on water. And lastly, we would love to see what you create from today's Bible story. So if you want to send us any pictures to children's ministry at sugarriverumc.org, we would love to see them. We are so grateful that you joined us for Sunday School today. It's so great to see you. We'll see you next time. Have a great day.